I bought a custom-built water-cooled Xbox 360 console, and in this video, we're gonna unbox it, test it out, tear it down, and find out why it's so unique. Now here's the thing, water-cooling video game consoles is pretty rare, but I have seen some water-cooled Xbox 360s and Xbox Ones in the past, but trust me man, none of them are quite as wild as this one here. Let me show you. Yo, what am I looking at here? Okay, so let's just take a closer look at this console. Clearly, it is R2-D2 themed and it's water-cooled apparently. You can see there's got like looks like a baby's bottle on the side of the console here, which is insane. So first of all, we'll start with the front and you can see it has some remnants of the original R2-D2 console, but it's a little bit custom. It's got a clear faceplate here, but this blue piece right here I believe is original. Same with the power button and then same with our disk drive, which unfortunately looks like it has fallen out of place a bit, which is not too out of the ordinary with custom consoles. Things will just fall out of place in shipping, unfortunately. And you might be wondering how a disk drive piece falls out of place. Well, this console, I believe, is all digital, so there's not actually a disk drive in here. It's just this piece right here to kind of keep the cool 360 look to it. But once they open this thing up, we'll try to put that back into place. But it does still have the Star Wars text on top of the disk drive little piece there, which is cool. And then looking at the top of this console is where things start to get really crazy. So first of all, we have our radiator here, which is white on the outside, and oh, it's like built out of metal or something. That's a high quality solid piece of metal. I like that. And on top of the radiator, there's a blue mesh piece that's kind of screwed down. And wait, hold on. Oh, I was looking at the wrong angle. Oh, yo. So you can see this entire like white clearish piece on top is 3D printed here. And then that's R2-D2 in the middle. That's just a nice little aesthetic add-on there. Then obviously the top of the case here is clear as well. And we can see some stuff inside, which we'll take a closer look at in a little bit. But of course we have our X-Wing fighter here, a little sticker on top of the case. And then flipping to, let's go with this side first. We have a white grill on this side. I believe we have a hard drive in here. Oh, nice. It's actually a clear blue hard drive here. Let me pull that out. Okay, so yeah, it has this custom blue shell here, and I believe he said this is a 250 gig hard drive, but I don't see that listed anywhere. We'll, of course, find that out when we turn this thing on. They've got the resistance symbol here on top of the hard drive, which is a nice little addition. And pop that sucker back in there, and of course, since it's clear, you can actually still see it through the case. Now, flipping to the back, we've got the guy's initials, KYAK. KWAK, what? I'll put his info on the screen. He sends me a lot of modded stuff to check out on the channel. And you can see here on the back is kind of like a mesh of the clear case, and the bottom case is actually the original R2-D2 case, which was actually pretty sick on its own, just from, it was an original console from Microsoft that was a limited edition. And you can actually see a little sneak peek of, I guess, some blue paint on the inside of this console, which we'll find later. And guys, flipping to the side for the real star of the show, we've got our big old bottle filled with water here. Clearly got some green dye inside of it as well, which I find to be a nice little contrast between the blue here and the green there. And they're actually, this little bottle is strapped in with these two black straps. I'm not really sure how those are attached, but I don't know. It's a nice little touch. It just looks pretty industrial, which I think kind of adds to the aesthetic here. And you've got the water capped off there. I would assume you take that piece off to add more water or take it out or whatever. Then there's two pieces down here to complete our water loop, which we'll take a closer look at the insides later to see what all is going on inside of this thing. And also, I should mention, you can see some more of that blue paint there on the metal shell. Let's go ahead and plug this console in, turn it on, and see what actually happens. And actually, you know what? I completely missed the controller here as well. We've got a nice little clear blue controller with some white buttons here. And of course, these are third party, so the buttons never feel quite as nice as OEM buttons, but it's kind of the sacrifice you make to get custom stuff like this. But I always like seeing the cool combos of, blue battery pack, silver back, the blue front, the white top, the white buttons. Nice little additions. So guys, console plugged in here, and dude, I just can't get over the fact that we have a whole bottle filled with water on the side of this 360, which is frankly a weird place to see water, but a place that's not weird to see water or even dirty water is a backyard pool. But with the Z1 Pro pool cleaner from Dreamy, that water does not have to be dirty. I don't thank Dreamy for sponsoring this video. So what makes this thing special? Well, this is actually the world's first robotic pool cleaner with a triple surround fusion perception system. Sounds fancy, right? Well, basically it's loaded up with a ton of sensors so it doesn't slam into your pool toys or wander around for hours like those, confused robot vacuums do. It's got intelligent navigation and path planning so it knows exactly where to clean and how to do it. It's also 100% wireless and comes with a poolside remote control, which means you can sit back, relax, and boss your robot around like a true poolside overlord. And get this, it's got dual brushes to scrub away dirt and debris and two brushless pump motors cranking out 8,000 gallons per hour of pure suction power. Translation, this thing can easily suck up leaves, dirt, algae, pretty much anything that's gross floating around your pool. And if you're thinking, yeah, but I bet it only works in certain types of pools, well, nope. The Z1 Pro pool cleaner has got you covered whether your pool is above ground, in ground, saltwater or freshwater, concrete, fiberglass, mosaic, vinyl, tile, even weird shaped pools. It doesn't matter, it'll clean it. So if you want to make your pool cleaning way easier, check out the Dreamy Z1 Pro pool cleaner using the link down below. All right, console plugged in and hopefully it turns on, because with custom consoles, there's always a chance that in shipping something gets messed up. So let's hope it does. 3, 2, 1. Oh, yo, it's still got the original sound from the original Star Wars console. That's sick. Got the blue lights there. You've got the green humming along over here. We'll take a closer look at everything with the lights dimmed down, but let's go ahead and see if this thing boots up and see what it shows. Can't boot it up here, and oh, I did not even realize this thing's RGH modded. Oh, that's a nice addition. Didn't notice that. But we got a bunch of games on here. 190 games. It's starting out strong with Adrenaline, a Kinect game. Never heard of that, but we'll go ahead and scroll through here, see what else is on here. We got Call of Duty, Tony Hawk, Angry Birds, Kinectimals, yo, classic. And something I'm noticing on here is I'm not sure why some games have like the classic 360 piece at the top. Like these two look pretty normal, but then going to this one, it looks like the top piece is like Xbox One color. Like that looks like an Xbox One case, but it still says 360. So I don't know what the deal is there. It's probably just has something to do with the random cover art that got applied to these games. Well, other than that, pretty big mix of games. You know, you got Gears of War, Call of Duty, GTA, Harry Potter for Kinect. Didn't know that existed. Of course, one of my favorites, Just Cause 2. Great game. What is this? Unable to read name. Yo, we gotta play this. Hold up. Actually, I should mention, I need to fix the aspect ratio on this console here, which we'll fix after this no-name game, which is actually Dancing Stage Universe 2. I'm not sure why I couldn't read the name, but that's, yeah, that's truly something. But all right, guys, on the Xbox pop-up here, we've got Aurora Home, which is what we were just on. The Aurora dashboard is a modded dashboard. You can also see our processor, graphics, memory, and chassis temps, which is pretty typical for modded 360s. Also, what is this? We got body and brain connection here, but it's in a bunch of Japanese or Chinese there, I guess. So what the heck? All right, that's a little better. Now that we're back on the main dashboard, I want to scroll around here and just see what we're on. So it looks like a pretty standard Metro dashboard here, which is not surprising. I'm curious what shows up under my games. Probably just the XCX menu. So that makes sense. Okay, and checking out the hard drive, you can see we only have 20 megs free. I don't know if that's actually accurate, but it says we have a 927 gig capacity. So there's definitely a 1 terabyte hard drive in here, which makes sense for 190 games. Wait, hold on. So back on the Aurora menu, I just noticed that our Connected Ventures here, which I was about to boot up because I thought it was just Connected Ventures, it says Xbox Dashboard. So is it actually Xbox Dashboard or is it Connected Ventures? I don't know, but let's find out. Okay, so no, I was booting up Connected Ventures, but it took me back to the dashboard because I don't have the Connect plugged in, but I don't know, that's really random. It's funny though. Now guys, before we do any more with this console, I do want to take a closer look at it, like I said, with the lights dimmed down and see what this thing is actually looking up close up. So let's do that. All right guys, so starting here on the front, as you saw earlier, we do have the blue ring of light here, which I believe is accurate to the original R2-D2 console, maybe, or maybe it was white. I don't actually remember. Then of course we have a radiator here, which I don't see any lights on the top, but there are some lights like under the radiator, I believe, where the fan is. So there's a fan pushing air up through the radiator, and you can feel a little bit of air coming out there. And I will say the console overall is very quiet, which makes sense because it's a water-cooled console, so it doesn't need to be too loud with crazy fans or anything. Also got our water pump down there, which I always find to be kind of cool, just looking through the console and seeing, something spin with water in it. Just, I don't know, it looks kind of goofy, but I like it. And then also, you can see our Help Me Obi-Wan Kenobi, You're My Only Hope, which is written there on top of the disk drive little piece, which is default from the R2-D2 console itself. And then again, here on the side, we got our star of the show, the little baby bottle with, or I should say big baby bottle, because it's got the green dye, it's massive, it's got you can clearly see the water flowing through, and it's got a cool little water pattern on top, which I don't know, just kind of cool little thing to look at. And you can see it glows pretty nicely because we got some LEDs coming through the case, through the baby bottle right there. And looking down in there, it looks like there's some blue or purple LEDs. And I should mention that obviously our green dye is in there as well and lit up, which is nice. And coming around to the back here, you can see there aren't any LEDs or anything lighting up back here, but you can see some, piping and stuff going on the inside, which we'll take a closer look at here in a minute when we open this thing up. And flipping to this side, you can see some more of those LEDs kind of shining through the white side piece here. Now guys, you know what? Another thing I'm curious about is what happens when you try to eject the disk drive, because clearly there's no disk drive here. So let's just give it a go. 3, 2, 1, and okay, so it makes a noise. And wait, hold on, look at this. So when I press it, the button right there flashes a little bit like it's about to try to open up, then it realizes, oh, actually, there's no disk drive in here. I can't open anything. So yeah, not really surprising, but guys, I guess let's go ahead and turn this console off and try to tear it down and see what the inside looks like. I'm a bit scared because I don't want to break it, but let's do it anyway. Okay, so one more thing before I open the console up. Apparently some of the components here are supposed to react to UV light, so let's go ahead and see what happens when I shine my UV light here. Ooh, okay, so when I shine it on the pump down there, you can see the green gets like very light green, maybe like a tealish green. And oh yeah, it looks like it's the dye inside of the water there. That stuff is just glowing like crazy. That's pretty neat. And we've also got this same black tubing I saw on a recent build by the same guy here. It basically turns blue when I shine my light on the black tubing. But guys, let's go ahead and tear this thing down and hopefully we don't mess up. All right guys, so as you can see, I got this console partially apart, and I asked the modder of this console, whose name is Trinket Tinkering King, say that 5 times fast, but I asked him what's the best way to take this thing apart, and he basically said, you're an idiot, don't take it apart. Just kidding, he didn't say that, but he basically told me I need to drain the entire water system to really get it all the way apart. But we're gonna try to see if we can take it just partially apart and see inside without draining the whole system, because I don't really want to do that. But let's actually, let me show you the bottom first, which you kind of just saw. It is painted a nice like sparkly blue there, which is kind of cool. Okay, so bottom off, faceplate is off now. You can see our little disk drive piece was just, I guess that's, what is that, a 3D, oh, I think it is a 3D printed piece right there that was glued to the front, and it just unfortunately came loose. All right, guys, so I got this console apart enough, I believe, to see everything on the inside. First of all, I took this piece off the top of the radiator. You can see it's just 3D printed with some little piece of mesh and some screws. And I first want to start by showing you this little speaker right here, which I believe is relocated from where it originally was, because I don't think it was right there. But basically, that's the speaker for our disk drive noise and our power button noise, that the, you know, the R2-D2 sound. And next up, I want to take you to the front. And obviously, there's usually a disk drive in this space right here, but right now it's just a water loop and our pump and all that kind of stuff. Now, speaking of water loop, I want to show you the whole water loop apparatus here. So in case you don't know, with a water-cooled system, you have a whole loop of water that basically goes over the APU and cools it and comes out the radiator. So actually, next thing I want to show you is inside of here, you can kind of see the fan with some like blue fins in there. That's the fan blowing up out of the radiator, at least I believe so. It kind of looked like the fans were going down, but it was kind of hard to tell. But anyways, I want to go through this whole loop here. And we'll start with the bottle here, which you have a tubing coming here into the radiator. And then it's hard to see here, but there's a tubing going from the radiator to the APU piece. And then out of the APU, it comes through this tube into our pump right here in the middle. And then we've got some pump stuff going on, and then it kind of, the tubing comes out the bottom right through there to our bottle and completes the loop. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And if you did, you're definitely gonna like this custom water-cooled Xbox One from the same modder. Go check that out. It's pretty crazy. I'll see you guys next time.